Hey everybody, welcome to TI3, where we break down the most complex of ideas into 3 minutes or less. In this series, which Bible version should I use? I respond to one of the most frequently asked questions that I get from friends, from viewers, and from students. I get it in texts, I get it in emails, and I get it when teaching. So let's jump in. When it comes to choosing a Bible version, English readers have their pick of the litter. We are absolutely spoiled, and that's part of the problem when it comes to choosing one. There are literally hundreds available, but for the most part, there are only around a dozen or so that you've probably ever heard of. In this series, I'm going to share 10 of the most commonly used English versions. And my apologies in advance if I don't happen to cover your favorite version. Beginning in this video, I'm going to talk briefly about the ESV. The English Standard Version, or ESV, is a pretty popular translation among more conservative and Reformed Christians, and it was originally published in 2001. A lot of people really like the ESV and they're very excited about it due to its translation philosophy, which it defines as essentially literal. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, it essentially means that it seeks, as far as possible, to capture the precise wording of the original text, that is, the Hebrew and the Greek. So, how does the ESV sound? Well, in a word, it sounds kind of, I don't know what the word is, biblical. Yes, it sounds very biblical, and that is to be applauded. However, sometimes it can also sound a bit wooden at times. Although the preface to the ESV tells us that its readability level is pitched to an 8th grade reading level, there's not a lot of middle schoolers that I know who speak this way, which makes a lot of sense given that the ESV is always going to be more focused on the original text than the contemporary reader. When talking about a Bible, it's always really important to talk about the publisher. The publisher of the ESV is Crossway, which is a conservative publishing house that is committed to Reformed theology, that is, it is confessional in nature. And not surprisingly, many of the churches that use the ESV are also confessional Presbyterian churches. Altogether, the ESV is a really popular English translation of the Bible that sits roughly in the middle of the NIV on the one hand and the NASB on the other. These are two very popular English translations. In general, the ESV is more literal than the NIV, but it's more readable than the NASB. Now, if those acronyms don't sound familiar to you, hey, no worries. Just be sure to watch the next videos where I'll go into a little bit more detail about each of them. I'll see you then.